Peace, y'all. It's your man Dave with my brother Quest, the man bringing you all things marriage, paying you huge dividends on your investment in time with us. We're talking about love, sex, having children, money, spirituality, life, communication, and anything else to help you thrive and win in your relationships. And guess what? This is grown folks' business. So get ready to make grown-up decisions. You know why? Because marriage ain't for suckers. That's the name of the program. Marriage ain't for suckers. All right, let's get into it. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What we talking about today?
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Quest, and welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast. And D looking at me like I'm crazy. And I know everybody is like, why does his voice sound like he been gargling with rock stones? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no doubt. Your boy had the flu, and we on the tail end of the flu, but one monkey don't stop no show. Y'all already know how we get down. But let me introduce my man, my mellow, my man,
yeah,
and my co-host, L. David Harris.
What up, bro? Yeah, we got the bass version, but class is in session.
Yeah, I just want him to know, like for real, D, one monkey don't stop no show. And I know people must be like, yo, how are you sitting? Yeah, don't. Yeah, I feel a whole lot better than I sound. Now, if this was yesterday, D would have probably been doing the podcast on his own. But yeah, because I I definitely feel a whole lot better than I sound. So yeah, D.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. So I ain't mad. We gonna get it. We gonna get it regardless of.
Yeah.
So and here's the funny thing: the wife had it with me, D.
Y'all passing it around, man. You need a bubble, man, like a quarantine bubble.
We actually not. Me and Faith were walking around the house with those, the surgical masks when they gave us masks at the house because they know we got. Yeah, when we went to urgent care, one of the ladies that we go to church with, she's a RN at the urgent care that we go to. And when I went in, she's like, no, come on, let's go. She took us right to the back. They did their test and it was like, don't worry about it. We got you. And so it's good to know people in places, man. I promise you it is. And she gave, along with the, the prescriptions, she also gave us face masks. So we walking around the house with masks on, looking good and crazy, but
looking like an old school spy.
Yo, and I was telling her we shouldn't wear no masks. Them jokers is the ones who gave it to us in the first place, and they bounce back so much quicker than we do. Get on my nerves.
Them jokers.
Now we trying to protect them from the cold they gave us.
Yeah,
ain't that a mess?
Ain't that a mess? It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, man. So that's what it is, man. They said in sickness and in health. So me and Faith are together in sickness right now.
Well, I hope you feel better.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get around to it now, babe.
Mm-hmm.
We can't afford to be sick for too long. So I'm taking the Tamiflu and we taking some other cough medicine and some other stuff that my wife, because I'm a flamingo. I don't be, you take this, you get me up. Okay, take this, and take this. I ain't worried. I just take them.
Mm-hmm.
And so slowly but surely we getting there.
Right.
Next week we should be back on them. You know what I mean? We should be back on it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But what's going on the Harris front lines?
Yeah. Well, life is life, man. We good.
Yeah, no
That's
doubt.
what it is, man. It's, trials come and I'm looking to overcome some of those, but God is with me.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Always. So yeah, man. Let's jump into it. Because regardless of us, it's funny when the parents are sick, and God forbid both parents are sick. Like the world don't stop. When the kids are sick, everything stops. You know what I'm saying? But when we sick, we still got to get up and still get stuff done. You know what I'm saying? So I still got to go and pick up Nico from school. Still got to take him home.
Right.
He still got to go to karate class. And I'm going to be looking crazy with a mask on, but it is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, let's jump into this thing, man.
Right.
Shouts out always, as always, to Breathe University. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. Yep. Breathe University is the brand new e-learning platform led by Dr. Eric Thomas. And inside BU, you get access to ET, along with all of his proven tools, strategies, and resources. You need to jumpstart your greatness in one convenient location. Let me tell y'all, the 1% Club is finally up. And there are a couple of events that are taking place in the near future. I think April 19th, I believe it is. April 19th and 20th, 1% Club Conference in Dallas. And then April 26th and 27th, we're in Chicago. So yeah, guys, for real, there's a 1% of people in this. I know not in JA, but on the US side, there's a 1% of people, man, who have a particular mindset as it relates to executing and getting to that next level. So if you want to be at that conference, man, and you want to learn how to go to the next level, please do, man. Go to etinspires.com/events and you can be in the house. But if you want to become a part of a community of learners and learning, do me a favor. Go by breatheuniversity.com and get the information you need that'll help you go to the next level. Word up.
Very nice, man. I'm inspired by it. I ain't just saying it. It is. Yep. It's true. Yep. It's true. Well, this podcast is brought to you by Audible.
Yep.
I think we should give him a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/marriage. Yep. With more than 180,000 titles from which to choose for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And I'm still waiting for some people to recommend some stuff, Quez.
Yeah. Let me tell you. Oh man, I wish I remembered I wish I remembered the name of the book written by Jason. I forgot his last name, but he's the one who runs the martial arts camp in Chicago, I believe, called the Cave of Adullam. You know, the cave that David retreated to when Saul was after his tail. There is a book that he has out that is absolutely fire for marriage, man. Yeah, I got one I want to refer, but yeah, it's gonna take me a minute to look that joke up.
Yeah, man. And worse, I mean, do you know if it's an audio? That's the thing.
I think it is.
Okay.
I think it is.
Yeah, but y'all go ahead and put that in the feed once you get one, and let us know what it is so we can enjoy them too, man. That's it. Don't keep it to yourself.
Yeah, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy.
Yep. So what are we talking about today, man?
For real. Here's the real D. I was watching a video by E. This morning. Usually, I'm watching. Not so much as motivational stuff because I'm always there for those conferences and stuff. So I see that on a regular. E is now classified as the number one motivational speaker in the country. But what people don't realize is that's not the stuff that makes E.
I don't even know the motivational speaker, Eric Thomas. Yeah. I know the other guy that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's funny because that's the thing that makes EE, if that makes any sense.
It's foundational, man.
And so, for real, if you ever really want to see E in the fullness of who E is, catch him in his element. And when he's in his element is when he is talking about things from a spiritual standpoint, if you will. And so, it was at this one, I forgot what conference it was, but I was watching the video this morning And he was like, for those of you who don't know about the animal assessment, it's an assessment that we take within the organization. And it helps marriages. It helps you go to the next level. Why? Because it allows you to find out who you are and how you're wired. Right. And some of you are fighting things and wondering why you do a particular thing, and that the DISC assessment is the thing, or the animal assessment is the thing that helps you understand that. So he was leaning more to the gorilla, which in the assessment is the thing that really speaks to how you tend to approach problems and make decisions. And so some of us can be very conservative and mild and agreeable when it comes to confronting problems and making decisions. Then you have those high gorillas who are demanding, driving, forceful. And what happens, D, is that sometimes we want something for someone else more than they want it for themselves. We want our spouse to act right in the marriage because, like, for real. And here's the larger picture is that what they're doing is causing us pain. But if we love them the way that we say we love them, or in the truest form of us loving them, sometimes we just don't want them to have to experience divorce. Shucks, we don't want us to have to experience divorce.
No.
And sometimes when they're not doing what you think they should be doing, sometimes you just need to take your hand off of it. Like he was saying to this one person in the conference, what are you trying to do? He said, provide information, provide knowledge. He said, if they don't want it, what should you do? He said, stop. Yeah. They said, stop, right? Yeah. So he asked them again. He said, you're providing this. If they don't want it, then what? They said, stop. He said, let me just try it one more time so we're all on the same page. You're providing information. If they don't want it, then stop. Why? Because you're trying to force something down their throat that they're not even ready to receive. And I'm saying with some of us is that you are forcing your spouse to do and be a particular person, right? And granted, if you are married, there is a particular person and way that you need to be, right? In order to, like, for real, in order to for the marriage to work properly, right? You need to be a man of one wife. You need to be a woman of one husband. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to be having wandering eyes and that sort of thing. So there is a particular person that you need to be.
That's right.
But
that's
sometimes when you're fighting against your spouse to be the thing that they need to be and they ain't trying to be that thing, stop fighting. Go to God.
Yeah.
So he goes further, D, into it. And then he says that there's a reason why he gets up at 3:00 in the morning to cover his babies, to cover his wife, to cover friends, to cover situations. Why? Because there's certain places that your influence can't go.
Yeah.
There's certain places that your money or your little celebrity can't go. There's certain places that I don't care where you come from, Brooklyn, Queens, or the island of Staten. There's certain places that your thug can't go.
Right.
And you're going to need faith in those areas. And he was just basically saying that's why he talked the God talk at his conferences and doing what he's doing, because he realizes that while he can't be in all places at all times, because he's in connection with God, who is Alpha and Omega, I could be in all places and all times. And some of us, you trying to fix stuff in your marriage and you trying to fix it off of your own steam, and it's not going to work. Why? Not because you're not a good person, not because you're not great or whatever the case may be, but there's certain instances. Number one, you dealing in a spiritual institution and you trying to fight a carnal battle. I mean, a spiritual battle in a carnal way.
Right.
Yeah. What you say, D?
Well, you gotta have the right tools, man. And really and truly, force is not one of them.
Yeah.
Force is not one of them. So that thing they say about, trying to convince somebody against their will or of the same opinion still is true. And worse, we're not even talking about opinion. We're talking about something deeper than opinion, which is the essence of who I am. So you're not going to change me by pestering me. It may not feel like to you you're pestering nobody because you're dropping jewels, like you're giving something of value, of worth. But really and truly, if it becomes a nuisance to somebody who is unreceptive, and it becomes a bludgeoning tool if you keep pressing it. That's the thing. So it's a hard thing because you know that their ship is going to run aground, but it's going to do that anyway because they're not listening.
Yep.
So,
What I've learned, D, is that for those of us who are even operating in marriage as it's supposed to operate within a spiritual context, what you do is you want the situation to be changed. But what I realized about situations changing and becoming a permanent change is when people change. So in other words, you want God to change your situation, but you don't want a God to change you in the process. And that don't work.
That can't work.
And not only that, God don't change situations. It's not something that he does. He changes people.
Yeah.
And
well, look like Quest, the audio and video just stopped. So, all right, there you go.
Yeah, no, I was saying, D, that you remember who we were when were in high school.
Yeah, I do.
We're definitely not the dudes that we are now.
Nah.
God did, and our situations are so much better now than they were back then, or even when I did marriage the first time. Why? Because God don't change situations. God changed people, and then people change situations.
Yeah.
Right? And so some of you want the end result of the happy marriage. You want all those tapestries and bells and whistles that come along with marriage. You want all of those things, but you don't want to do the necessary work, or you don't want to be connected to what you have to be connected to in order to get that. And it just don't work that way.
Well, that begs the question, though, do I really want it?
Ooh.
You know, people say that. Like, it's easy to say I want this level of success and then do no work.
Yeah.
Or it's easy to say that I want a 32-inch waist and still eat them Twinkies. Like, it's easy to say that, but when you're about to eat that third slice of pizza,
oh, come on,
bro, you just showing that what you want is pizza. You don't want a washboard set of abs, bro. You don't, because you wouldn't be eating that pizza if you did. You're just saying that.
Oh, let me explain something to you. It kills me how people want an end result in terms of the same thing you're talking about in terms of their fitness. So they go and get liposuction done.
Oh.
They get their stomach stapled, the lap band. You know what I'm saying? Then they do the body sculpting stuff where they put the, you know what I'm saying, the pecs in your chest or whatever it is.
And add stuff.
Yeah, but the joke about all of that, D, is the same thing you just said. Your eating habits haven't changed. So in other words, you can get that stuff. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but you got to do the work from the inside out. What a lot of us are doing is trying to do the work from the outside in. That never works because it's not established. It's not sustainable, right? So in other words, you pay 20, 30, 40 grand to get that work done. And then your 20, 30, 40 grand go right down the drain because you haven't changed your eating habits.
Well, the question is, do I want a change of behavior or a change of essence?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, there are a lot of circumstances, mitigating circumstances, enticing circumstances, circumstances that have to do with consequences that will facilitate somebody behaving differently. But really and truly, like if you're not changed on the inside, then all of those circumstances, when they're rearranged, you're just gonna leak out and be the same person you were anyway.
Absolutely.
So that's just what it is. So for me, people come to me on a regular basis saying, can you help me with this person, help me with that person? And I say, how so? Or in what way? And then they like, I need you to help me with fill in the blank. And usually it's symptomatic stuff.
Yeah.
Help me to share with them how to dress better. I don't mean better, I mean appropriately. Well, no, I can't help you with that. Why? Why not? Because that's a symptom of something. If your spouse is walking out the house showing everything to everybody besides you.
Oh, come on.
Dude or woman, because dudes are doing it too.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff I'm seeing walking down the street, I'm like, why am I looking at this? Like, why are y'all showing me this, right? So, but why would I try to help somebody deal with the symptom? I guess right now you might be relieved if I could help you with some of your symptoms, Quest. But really,
I'll be really relieved now.
But 8 o'clock tonight, when the barometric pressure changes and you still got whatever's causing this, that temporary relief really wasn't all that, because is evaporating.
Because it's going to change right back again when the next day comes.
You back coughing and can't breathe, and if you lay a certain way, then it's uncomfortable, right? So you would probably rather if I could lay hands on you or give you a cure of some kind.
Hallelujah.
You see what I'm saying? And so that's the thing. People are becoming satisfied, or at least telling ourselves that we're satisfied with symptomatic changes, behavioral changes. And then wonder when the real person pops out like a birthday cake back in the day. You're like, who did that? Where did it come from? I thought, no, you didn't. It was a behavioral change.
It's like the person who constantly taking Afrin to clear up their nasal passages. No, bro, what you have is a deviated septum, and you need a septoplasty procedure to fix that. But no, I don't want to go to the hospital, and I don't want to have no procedure done. And then you keep using Afrin until the Afrin don't work no more. Then what?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, then what? Then you're forced to go and do what you didn't want to do in the beginning. Yeah. And that's going to get the procedure done. And I'm saying with some of you, you want to hold on to the thing that gives you a temporary fix to a temporary fix to symptoms, what needs a deep-rooted, like, for real, pull-up.
You know what that is, bro?
Yeah, talk to me.
It's called an addiction. Look it up.
Oh, wow.
You don't even actually need to be bright. Just to be able to read a little bit. That's what addictions are. All inebriants, all chemical addictions are based on somebody trying to separate themselves from the reality of either a circumstance or who they are.
And that's deep, because addictions don't have to be drug related.
No.
That's deep.
No. So that's the thing. Whatever it takes to take my mind away, take my mind off of this. Well, if you can take your mind off of it, Quest, look at that. You see that? You see my hands? Like, you can take your mind off of that, but the that is still there.
Yeah.
Right? So now how do we deal with the that's still there? Like, I get it. Like, I want to be taken away from some of the stuff too. I get it. Like, I'm not naive.
Yeah.
But the truth is, until or unless we can deal with the actual thing, it's a temporary fix. And my temperament does not like temporary fixes. I don't like Band-Aids. I don't like that little flexi pipe spray stuff they sell on the as seen on TV. Get a new pipe, bruh.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. D. I don't think anybody likes a temporary fix.
Not for real.
Yeah. I think some of us, though, you've been living the way that you've been living for so long, and you refuse to get yourself educated on how you can make your decision-making process or turn your, like, for real, just go to the next level in that area. So, like, for real, I look, when I look at the assessment, I look at the different quadrants, D, and how we're, when we deal with problems, when we deal with people, when we deal with pace, when we deal with procedures, like, for real, that's real life stuff that you're dealing with. And I think some of us, as your term you used the other day, typecast ourselves into this particular area. And the devil is a lie, because there's 4 other areas that you really can get better at. But because you're so used to this, and I don't know what it is that stops you from getting what you need to go to that next level in that area, but you're just not doing it.
Well, because it's easy. If I'm naturally lazy, one of the things, which I'm not, but if I were, if that's the case, I need to identify that reality and be honest about it and say, I'm really lazy, right? Instead of fronting and saying, no, I'm not. I'm just not interested in that. Like, so I'm lazy. All right. So what is the antidote for lazy in this category of my life? If it's to clean something, then how do I deal with that? If it's to go exercise, how do I deal with that? Or if I'm lazy in my relationship with my wife, and I just figure if I just make it stay, then it'll just evaporate. Whatever the problem is, if I just let it stay, then it'll mysteriously evaporate, and I won't have to do the work to actually mend the broken fence. Right? So we have to be honest with ourselves, man. To thine own self be true. And if you do that, you can't lie to nobody else.
Why is that always the reoccurring theme?
I don't know. There's some brilliance in that, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And a lot of us refuse to self-assess. You refuse to keep it one stack with yourself. Like, for real, go in the mirror and take a deep, deep look into your own eyes and see who you are and who you're not. And whoever you need to be, start making adjustments to become that person. And who you're not, and who you are, that's not conducive to what you want in terms of an end goal, learn how to start letting that person go quick.
Yeah.
As time is passing by, like for real, D, I'm in my 40s. Like I'm 46 this year.
What?
Yeah. I'm 46 this year, D.
Dang,
like for real, 50 ain't nothing but a hop, skip, and a jump away. And for me not to be in the position where I'm not playing no games with myself no more. We've done that for too long.
Yeah.
Yep. And I realize there's some things that I am and some things that I'm just not.
Mm-hmm. And
there's good and bad on both sides of that fence. So
there's a book I read a long time ago titled by Roth, R-O-T-H, I think his name is. Strength Finder 2.0. He's a Gallup poll researcher, and he was basically teaching how backwards we deal with stuff from start, where if you're weak in an area, you dedicate all of your energy at dealing with the weakness. Or if you have a team, then you dedicate all of your energies to bolstering the weak side. When he's like, but the people that really flex are the ones that identify the strengths and magnify those, turn them up.
Yeah.
You turn up the strengths. Yeah. Don't babysit the weaknesses. Right? And so if you have a strength, to thine own self be true, man, don't front. Like if you're not a doctor, don't try to be a doctor. Like if you are a musician, then turn up. Like I watched one of Simone's cousins go from Jamaica to the States, right? And in one of it two times, like in terms of moving there, right? The second go around, his dad came clean. We're talking about a grown man here. We're not talking about a young boy. Daddy came clean and was like, yo, you know what? When he was young, we saw his aptitude toward music, and he was saying that he wanted to do it. But I was like, you can't get paid doing that. So, right?
Oh, wow.
Right? That's what he said, because we're talking about, whenever it was. But that's who this dude is. Well, he happens to be one of the dopest all around people in that arena here. Right? And so and Dad had to admit that, boy, this dude has excelled. He's not a piano player. The dude is a full genius musician, man.
Yeah.
No diss to the piano players, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this dude is a genius musician. All right. And he has turned it up for his country here. He has turned it up wherever he's going in the U.S. And not just to entertain people either. I mean, to add something to the culture.
Yeah.
Word up.
Yeah.
And so, wow. So that doctor is not the same doctor as his older sister, who's also a doctor. She's a medical doctor who has some musical gifts, but she's dope with the scalpel. Two of them are doctors.
Yeah.
But one of them is with the scalpel and the other one is another way.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So to thine own self be true. And so we need to be seeing the strengths in each other in our marriages and start trying to make each other be somebody we're not. And then spanking each other for not being who we not. It doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely. It's funny you should say that, D, and that's why I love the assessment so much. It's because there were some things that I would hold Faith hostage to, expecting her to be a particular thing. Come to find out she ain't even wired for that kind of stuff.
Waste of time.
So in other words, I'm putting unfair expectations on her to be something she's not even wired to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. You mad at the Benz for not being a Beamer.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely.
And neither one of them is bad. See what I'm saying? You see my comparison?
Absolutely.
Right.
And so now I've gotten to the point now where I found out what her superpower is.
Yeah.
And I do everything to feed that superpower. So because in the dynamics, if I allow her